So you might be wondering why, as an unusual start to one of my videos, I'm starting in the baggage belt at Bangkok Suvarnabhumi International Airport. And that's because I've just come off a flight with Philippine Airlines from Manila, and due to a mistake on my part, I'm now taking a Cathay Pacific flight over to Hong Kong.
So what the hell happened? I try and pack in as many flights as I can, which makes sense economically, and also I can spend more time at home. When I was booking the flight, I put Hong Kong on the spreadsheet when I meant to write down Bangkok. Luckily, Cathay Pacific had a not outrageously priced premium economy fare from Bangkok to Hong Kong for $350. And even better, the route had a period where they were using the much newer Airbus A350. This is a little bit of a gamble because if my earlier flight is delayed by more than 2 hours, I probably will miss the flight and have to pay again. You can probably guess the flight was on time. So now I can go get checked in and then kick my feet back with a drink in the Cathay Pacific lounge. It's not included in the fare price, so you'll need to have status with a one-wheel carrier to get in. Cathay Pacific have 6 flights during the day over to Hong Kong, so they can afford to have 8 check-in desks, with 2 for first class, 2 for business, and the remainder are bag drop. It's extremely quiet though, so choose the right lane and wait for someone to call you forwards. Unless you have a business class ticket, which allows you to use the fast track queue, immigration can be pretty long. So you should always factor in at least 45 minutes just in case. Today seems to be the exception though.
Maybe I got lucky, maybe it's because it's the wet season, it was really quiet today. And the whole process of check-in to being through immigration to the shops was literally less than 5 minutes. And that is exceptional for Bangkok. With all of those different shops. The only thing missing is a touch of Thailand. Sorry, I know that was a terrible joke.
If you have literally no idea what I'm on about, go back to 2 minutes and 26 seconds and look at the names of the shops. I know, it's a crap joke, but I'm in a good mood having made the flight. I talk about this all the time because Cathay Pacific is one of my favourite, if not my favourite airline. There's a beautiful fusion between West and Eastern cultures, and the staff, cabin crew, lounges and flights I just find relaxing and calming. The lounges evoke, that's a good word, a slightly subdued lighting that's meant to make you feel relaxed because, well, flying can be stressful. Comfortable seating, a restaurant and a bar which serves deliciousness like the Cathay Pacific Delight mocktail and the Hong Kong milk tea.
This little bit of heaven, it's called a Cathay Delight, and it's sort of like a coconutish based milk drink.
I would happily stay in here all day, but I have a plane to catch. Just FYI, if you're interested in seeing what it's like to fly Cathay Pacific other than today's video, then you can check out our reviews on the channel in economy, business and even first class, with today's flight being the last one except for the Airbus A321neo.
So that is the Cathay Pacific Lounge, time for the route map and to board the flight.
Hong Kong is only 3 hours away, with the journey covering 1,074 miles, touching down to Hong Kong just after 8 PM.
Now in some ways this is actually a bit sad because this means I've tried first, business, economy and premium economy. So besides trying out the A321, which we're doing this week in economy and next year in business, there's not really any reason to fly them, just other than the new product which is coming out maybe next year and just for fun because they are such a good airline.
I might sound like I'm being paid to do this, but all my trips are self-funded, and I genuinely do think they're a great airline, despite the recent criticism that the food before 2020 was better. We all remember how terrible that year was. What I also think is great as someone who enjoys a well organised queue is that business, premium economy and economy are all nicely laid out, so you know where to go. And despite not having a first class, they still make a separate queue for their One World Emerald status holders. At the very front of the plane are 8 rows of business class, in a 1-2-1 configuration, and despite the new product on the horizon, I still think this is a solid product. Just behind the second door are a further 2 rows of business class, and then the premium economy cabin, which has 4 rows but only 3 in the centre. Row 30 has extra pitch for your legs because it's in the bulkhead, but I'm nesting myself in 33 Alpha so I can get a good view of the cabin.
To welcome aboard Cathay Pacific's Premium Economy product, it's the Collins Aerospace MIQ or MIC. 40 inches of pitch and 8.5 inches of width.
With an extremely generous recline of 9 inches. If you are someone that likes to watch their own content on their own device, this little pull-out is particularly useful. And the little table in the middle, I really like the stylish wood effect. It's great for a first drink with a little pull-out for the second. For the duration of the flight, I need to note that I never accidentally knock this, is the control for the in-flight entertainment and the manual seat buttons to recline or extend the leg and foot supports. This private compartment is extremely useful, and finally on the end of the table down below are 2 charging ports. These pretty new seats come with a 12.1 inch Full HD display, and their entertainment system is absolutely packed full of content. Unfortunately, while I'd like to, I don't speak Mandarin or Cantonese, but apparently 57% of citizens of Hong Kong also speak English, with it falling to 1% over in mainland China. Cathay Pacific also has some content from back in the UK, and I managed to find Sue Perkins exploring Thailand. You can also view the onboard shop, and there are cameras, but by the time I realised it was dark outside. The headphones come wrapped for sanitary purposes, and once out of the packaging they are pretty sound, pardon the pun. Pair of headphones which are over the ear and cling really nicely. I was given a choice, but what the other choice was, I forget. So here's chicken with noodles and fried onions, which comes with a perfectly good bread roll and a mixed bowl of diced fruit, including my favourite dragon fruit. I also requested a cup of tea, no milk, no sugar, in the local style, and the best part has to be the Häagen-Dazs ice cream, of which you don't get a choice of flavour. But luckily I like strawberry, so that's fine. They also seemed happy enough when I requested a second drink, but apparently the Hong Kong tea, which I love, is on request, although I suspect they might have got this because of my airline status. Today's recommendation is a movie called Founder, starring Ray Kroc, who is growing on me as an actor. He discovers a hamburger chain that does things really differently, and he's not really making it as a person, and grows the chain much to the original owner's displease, into the giant that it is today. You could sort of say that he's the villain in the film, but at the same time it would still be one store if he hadn't been so clever. Unfortunately for premium economy, on the A350-900 there are no toilets, with the unspoken rule being you shouldn't enter the business class cabin. So you'll have to go beyond the curtain into economy, where you'll find 5 toilets in the centre. The bathroom is fairly compact, but they were extremely clean, and Cathy's continued the mock wood panelling, and the dappled sink that helps make the space less than one colour. And even in economy there is some hand cream, which is useful because the air on a plane is very dry, with the humidity and moisture added to help, and that's why I drink so much water and tea, which ultimately means I end up in here every 2 hours. The beauty of these much newer airplanes is the choice of mood lighting in the cabin, which the cabin crew can control to the heart's content, as we approach Hong Kong. So how do I rate Cathay Pacific's premium economy experience? It certainly was a comfortable and pleasant experience, but premium economy is always a tiny bit controversial. It certainly is a good money earner for the airlines, with the cost of fare sometimes disproportionate to the extra space, both the width and pitch. So while I highly recommend and rate the experience, it's always going to come down to the cost. What are your thoughts? Anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and safe travels.
Got the clean